Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for dropping by. So, been getting some questions on why I use Saturn 2 as an IR, and I think it'd be a lot easier to explain if I just show you how I do it from scratch. And the reason why I prefer it is because it's closer to the source. It just sounds more like a DI and more like your guitar. And an IR kind of clouds it up and hollows it out, and you have to fix it after the fact. And it just feels faster and more immediate in your hands. Like Fabfilter is zero latency, and an EQ doesn't have to process anything. It's just kind of a filter that sits on top of the sound. Whereas a cab loader has to process the wave file all the time, and it just adds just a hair more latency. So it just feels faster. And when you're playing death metal and really fast metal, you want that immediateness in your hands. So that's one of the main things I like about it as well. And also just the complete control you have over your tone. So if there's like a capture that you like, but there's something kind of weird about it that you can't get rid of in the EQ section of NAM or your amp sim, then you can shape it some further with an EQ. So you just have better control over your guitar tone, and it's just easier for mixing as well. If you want, for instance, like when you're mixing rhythm tracks, you can have one mid-focus guitar and one mid-scoops guitar, and it's just super easy to dial that in with an EQ. But with an IR, you have to kind of just use your ears and see where they mix together. Or if you're clever, then you use a spectral analyzer, I suppose. But it's just a lot more legwork to find the right mix of things. But an EQ, it just gets you right to the source of it, right to the core of your tone. So let's get right into it. I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so I got Saturn 2 opened, and one of the reasons why I switched from Pro Q3 to Saturn 2 is because you can set your points, and then you have access to a 4-band EQ. So it's just so much control over your tone. You can just, and also you have this section here that can subtly change the way it sounds. So it's just complete control over your tone. So basically, what we're gonna do is set 4 different points. The low end is gonna be muted because it's just a bunch of rumble. It doesn't do anything for your tone. It just kind of farts up the mix. And the next one we're gonna set is a very important part, though, is this section is where all the palm mutes are happening, and we're gonna try and maximize the bass and control the palm mutes so it's tight. And then finally we're gonna set one more over here, and for here we're gonna just scoop out the mid range and try to make it sound just clear and present. And right here we're just gonna mute out this section here. I can just do that actually. So it's gonna sound ratty at first, but we'll get it dialed in. So you basically just find the extremes of where you can go and make it as loud as possible. But that's basically it. You just mute out the extreme highs and lows. This is just white noise. I'll show you that you're not missing out on anything over here. I'll just show you that you're not missing out. It's literally just junk. It's literally over here. It's all white noise. Suppose I could just leave it like that, but I mean, it's not that essential. So that's basically the steps. You mute out this section, and just try to maximize the bass right here. And it looks like kind of what I've got here. This is basically what's going on. Everyone's kind of familiar with this shape, but it's just a more fine-tuned, refined version of it because I have the ability to use the 4-band EQ here. So that's basically it, and I'll show you what an IR compares to. I'll go through a couple of IRs to show you that I'm not full of shit. This actually sounds better. So this is what it sounds like now. And here is this is Glenn Fricker's IR. See, like, they're not horrible, but you still have to shape them and fix them up. There's something annoying and weird about it that you have to fix up. Whereas this, when I put on the way that I had it set up, it just sounds the way I want my guitar to sound. It's just very aggressive, in your face, and if there's anything I need to adjust, I can fix that, you know. I can get it so much clearer and louder and more present, I find, with an EQ, and it's more aggressive sounding, and just the way that a guitar kind of sounds. You hear the fundamental tone of the notes, whereas with an IR, I find it sounds kind of cloudy. It's just not as. This one sounds hollow. This one seems like it needs same sort of things, kind of hollow. Yeah, man, it's just a matter of fine-tuning it to what you need and stuff like that. But that's basically how it works. Like, you cut out the extreme high end, extreme low end, and then you fine-tune your points according to what you need, according to what your guitar sounds good at. And then you fine-tune it according to the mix after the fact. But, yeah, that's the basic steps. And I just showed that it just sounds better. Like, this sounds completely hollow and just not as present. It sounds distant. And I've got it turned up loud here, and I'm using a single track. There's no tricks going on here. This is how it sounds. yeah, man. It's just I find it's just louder, clear, and I have the ability to shape it, and I can continue to mess with it and make it the way I need. Like I can shape these more. I can change these settings, go through these settings and see which, and it's all independent, of each other. So it's amazing amount of control over your guitar tone. So that's basically how it works. And also, just like if you set it to, if I do it now, it'll crackle because I'm running a bunch of different stuff at once. But once you set it to Superb, if you have a nice computer, if you have a high-end CPU, it does actually sound that much better, that much sweeter. So I recommend setting it to Superb, and that's pretty much it. I'm not sure if linear phase really matters, like setting this to linear phase, but a high quality Superb or good is going to improve the sound quality. It's going to make it smooth over. So that's basically it, man. Have a good day. Hope you enjoyed. Give it a try. I think it's worth your time. It's just a more immediate, clear way, and once you play it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay, cheers, man. Cheers.